the angle. Oh, yes!
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Lockout podcast. I'm your host, Josh, coach and captain of the Young League. I'm here with Hawko.
That's right, I'm Hawko, manager of the Dark Brotherhood. Clearly much better than this guy this year.
That's true.
You got a
He's
job
the
yet? Or?
heavyweight.
No, I'm still homeless.
Still homeless? All right, cool.
Well, clearly not, but sorry, I make myself laugh a bit too much.
Yeah, too much. Yeah, go on.
I'm Ryan,
Come on,
the
Tim,
leader
let's keep it going.
of Greater Western Richmond.
Cool, and my name's Croxy, leader of Juck Frost FC, greatest team name on the podcast, and
we
we're
fucking
here
let him have it this
Can I just
point.
and
ask
we're
you a
here
question?
to chat about
Your
round 3
team name
review.
is named after Josh.
Correct.
I'm his
Are
inspiration.
you in
Is it
love with
because
him?
Josh is
Yeah,
so
nah,
talented?
he is.
It's because when I was making a team name, I couldn't be fucked to think of something. I'm like, fuck Josh. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Juck
so
Frost.
you were thinking about it.
I was front of mind.
Holy moly. That has escalated really quick.
Yeah. But, well, what we are here to do is talk round 2. Now, for some...
Fantasy / preview for round 3.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, just make sure.
We're going to talk about how we went. And,
yep.
And how some of us did really well and how some of us made money and how I didn't. So
On either.
let's jump in, and we're going to start off with ranks, scores, and cash made. And
Well, who think they? It's usually me. Last year I've actually been all right so far this year.
Yeah.
But who reckons
I
they
think
scored
kicking
the
us
lowest?
off is Joshua.
No way did Josh. You didn't score the lowest.
I did.
Did you really?
Are you
Yes.
serious?
Holy shit!
I know you'll watch this and you listen to this because of my
You scored the lowest.
Yeah.
my knowledge,
You didn't know
my
that.
wisdom, how I played the game.
I never thought that would happen.
Yeah, I don't think it happened
And
last year at all.
It did. It never happened, and hopefully it won't happen again. But yes, I did score the lowest, so I had an absolute nightmare round.
To all those celebrating right now, keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going. Well done to all of you. But I scored a 1743. Now, 1743 has left me sliding out 13,000 ranks.
Fuck.
And I now sit at 21,503, which is so embarrassing. And what's crazy to think is that that's still half of the rank that Hawko finished last year.
Wait, what? No, not half. No, I made top 35,000. Thank
But
you.
I also only made 554,000 in cash down last week.
That
Had a lot
also
of players
hurts
that
as
kind of
well.
offset. So did have some good players grow, but yeah, just copped a lot of cash, negative cash growth. So or cash fall, maybe.
Cash growth.
Well, you did grow cash.
Yeah. Anyways.
I did, but like
It
a
hurt
lot of
your
them
cash
didn't.
growth.
Yeah.
He sucked. Let's just go
Yeah,
to the next
I sucked.
person.
So
Moving on.
who is the second person here?
It's-
Take us through.
It's the guy to my right, I believe.
Yeah.
go.
In the 17s too.
Oh,
1798.
okay.
So you finished on 1798.
You scored 50 points more than me.
Yep.
Ah, mate.
That must hurt the soul a little bit there.
I am ranked 31,000. So
Exactly.
31,000.
Exactly 31K. I like it.
Nice
Actually,
round,
31,000.
Yeah.
round number.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I went up 668,000 in round 2.
A bit of money still. The cash king over there. Yeah,
so I'm
that's
still
good.
highest value team, I believe, out of the 4 of us.
No, I thought Nick had you.
No.
No, but I've got them.
Oh.
So it's all good.
And
Oh.
so,
Yeah.
What's yours?
I thought, yeah.
well, you'll
No,
find
because
out.
he only
Just
got me
give
by
him a
40K
second.
last week when I got him this week. So you'll see. Not
Coming in
much.
second again, consistent one on the podcast is me with 1838. I went up to 14,050, up from 22,910, so about almost 9K ranks there. And my cash went up by 680K.
Nice.
And yeah, now I'm on
So you guys have
19.2 mil.
outdone me by like 100K in cash growth. And instead of going back 13,000 spots, you've gone up like 20.
No, I only went up 9.
I'm ahead
Oh,
of you.
9.
9.
I'm ahead of you.
Yeah.
I went up
Yeah.
10,500 spots.
Yeah.
Week 1 to week 2.
Anyway, though, that somehow
And bring
leaves
us home.
me in the top spot, which only...
Before you do, I just want to take a growth moment here. This is a guy that didn't know his
go.
ass from his ankles.
I play with my heart, not my head.
Yeah,
last
he
year.
picked everything football related, wanted nothing to do with actual fantasy strategy, and was just a nonce. And now somehow he's fucking leading our league.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you scored and how you ranked.
Okay, well, I only scored 8 more points than Nick, so I only scored an 1846.
Only.
Only, yeah. But went from 34,000 to 18,500 in rank, so went up 16,000 ranking points. Money also, I went up 727,000. So a bit of cash generally. You're right. You got a headache. I understand.
What's your total though?
I do mine differently. I've made 1.43 million. So I don't know if you add up your 2 weeks, see what I think you're like 1.4 million. So I've only got you by like 20K.
But doesn't it tell you what your total team value is?
I don't look at it like that. I don't judge it. I add it up and
yeah, but
I think it's like 18.3 or something, 18.25 or something like that.
You keep going in.
Anyway, you have a look. Anyway, well, that's realistically it. That's the money I made. So why don't we just go straight into the Brownlow voting and make Josh's head not hurt as much.
Do you want to lead it off since you're the leader there, Hawko?
Oh, you want me to go? Yeah, no worries. So 3 votes for me, Connor Rosie for 3 votes. Only reason why I ended up giving him the 3.
Captain score.
Because I managed to captain Rosie and it worked obviously well in my favour.
Yeah, nice. Love that.
Yeah, 3 votes? I'm assuming most of you guys from Macrae.
Yeah,
definitely for me. Jack McRae, 3 votes.
So he was my 2 votes, obviously.
Yeah,
Rosie
he did the same as what I did last week, where I said I captained Dawson and he got me the points when I needed it, and so that's fair enough.
Yeah. So who also, if you guys had 2 votes?
Connor Rosie for 2 for me.
I see we just flipped it. Yep, that's fine. Yep, Josh.
I had 2 votes for Clayton Oliver with his 114.
Yeah, nice.
I think he's one of the only mid-price picks that's actually doing anything for me.
It's a bit hard to pick Connor Rosie for 2 votes when you don't have him in your team.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I just got to smile and take it.
Yeah.
It won't last for long, mate. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
it's not like
you'll
you'll
be
be
back.
down bad for like 18 weeks like I was last year, so it's all good. Brian, did you say who did you have for 2?
Rosie.
You had Rosie as well.
Same as Nick.
Same as
Yeah,
Nick.
we've
And
got
1 vote for you boys.
We've got exact same voting, so
Dawson for both of you
us.
boys. Josh, Dawson
How
for you
is
as well?
Dawson with a 123 your 1 vote? Oh, I think that tells the whole story of my round. For me, I went with small potato Caleb Daniel with his 114 as well. I think, really good to see the ex-dog boys doing well.
Just to let you know, he also scored a 134, not a 123 or whatever the heck you said.
Yeah.
134.
Okay, well,
So even higher.
And I had Oliver as my 1 vote as well. Josh is fucking all over the shop.
It's okay, Josh.
He's going to cry on the way home tonight.
Anyway,
though, that's that. We will do every 4 weeks. I think what we might do is, because I've got a little list here set up for top 10 for our little Brownlow counter that we have for our league, and we'll update that with you guys every few weeks or so, just to kind of give you an update on where we're at. Anyway, what's next, guys? Flops. The flop.
I'll kick it off.
Josh is the flop of the week.
Josh should.
Josh is the flop of the
kick
week.
off the flop of the week.
Why?
Because you're the flop.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, my flop of the week. No, me, maybe. No, it's got to go to Perryman. I think it just is actually so shit what he put up.
Joshua,
And
that's
it's
2
just
weeks
so
in a row for
disappointing.
Perryman.
Well, he's getting traded, so it doesn't fucking matter. It's not going to happen the 3rd week. Perryman, get your ass out the door.
If he gets 100 this week, you'll...
Well, he's on a buy.
He's on
So,
a buy.
He's got to get 100.
yeah, nice try, geezer.
Right, Croxy, what do you got?
Yeah, I got Perryman too. So,
jeez.
Yeah, he's staying in for the buy because he's not going to drop cash, and I've got bigger problems. And
You got bigger problems, really.
yeah, bigger problems. I need to extend my lead over Josh by more. So he's
How many points have you actually got on me? Like,
This is taking a bit far.
I think
now.
it's
Josh is getting pissed off. He might lock in here.
I think it's enough. Let's just say that much.
Ryan, what about you? What do you got?
Meek.
2 weeks in a row for Meek.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out the door, right?
Not this week.
Fucking Jesus.
Oh, he's playing
Not
Briggs.
this week.
He gets
for
it 3
Meek.
weeks in a row. He's definitely out the
Briggs,
door, I'm
he's got
assuming.
Well, we'll either take out him or take out someone who's not even playing.
Yeah.
So
All right, and for me, it is Jason Horn-Francis who is out the door for me this week.
I could have said him too because he's out the door for me.
Well, so far I'm on track for if you fucking have your flop of the week, you're out the door basically at this point in time. But anyway, though, we have what do we got next? The trades. Want to do trades?
Yeah, trade target. So, look,
Josh,
There's a lot of people we mentioned last episode that are good targets at the moment.
I don't know if I should be even the one to talk about this because
your trades have been, I think, round 18 last year? You've been on the bit of downside with your trades last couple of years.
So what you're saying is I'm peak form or poor form?
Yeah, you're fucking left, right, out.
Okay, so, this is my official retirement. No, top targets. I think, look, it's still... We talked about this last podcast. This is the final week to pick up any of the Ashcroft, Lindsay rookies. Even look at, your... Who else? You need to get in there. Sam Conning, probably. This is your final week to get him.
O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan, Closey. You could potentially look at Freya. He's someone that you're kind of at the top of his price now.
Fraser's 691k.
If he's putting up 80s, though, he's still outscoring his
still enough,
price.
yeah. Okay.
You want at least 15 to 20 points in these guys. But I think when we look at what we've got to play with at the moment, I look at your people that you want to be trading out. So we talked about a Harry Perriman. We want to trade out a Harry Perriman. Where do you go from that? And I think...
Upwards.
Anyway.
Well, that's
one way. You can, but I think there are some... If you are going to go to a Freya or an SDK, that's your downfall. That's kind of where you're shooting to.
Yeah, there's not many people to go down.
You're going all the way down to like a Riley Bice and you're playing a double defender backline.
At 350.
Or O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's...
I think your O'Sullivan's probably a little bit more of a risk.
Yeah, and I think that you're going
But
up.
there's so many good players that are just that, 100k up from... who are we saying to drop?
Perriman.
So what's Perriman? 700,000?
Sits at... Yeah, I'm just going to bring it up here.
So look, 700k is not bad. He started out at 759, if I recall. So maybe he's not quite 700k.
717 is what he's currently priced at.
So you've got a lot of players who we've mentioned before. There's you could nearly go to an Evans now that his break-even's fixed, but probably not. Kane Farrell's a good one.
Kane Farrell. Sinclair or Nass, if you want to go all the way up. It's just where you're finding the money. You don't want to be chopping down any rookies that have kind of outperformed. But if you're cutting like a Sanders and that gives you a fair bit of cash, you might look to throw it on top of this guy and go someone right up top.
Again, Zorko's been good and we don't know how long Coleman's out for. But if I was you and you were cutting out Perryman at 720k roughly and you only have, 100 to 150k in your bank, I reckon Farrell or Salem are your two options that you should be really looking at. But anyway, that's just giving us more options. Josh, what are you looking at? It's only Wednesday. What have you looked at already? What have you already made?
For my trades?
For your trades,
Yeah. So I've gone backwards and forwards a couple of times on what I already want to do. I have one trade locked away, and that's going to be kind of who we just spoke about. So I'm going to be trading Harry Perriman out and look to bring in Kane Farrell. I'm loving what he's doing down back, so I think that solidifies it, and I kind of will enjoy that.
Yep.
Expect Farrell to underperform next week.
Yeah. It leaves me with 59k in the bank. Now, where am I looking at putting that extra money? The option is obviously Will Day could be a trade out. I'm thinking that I'm just going to bite the bullet and hold Will Day. He's got a tag this week, potentially. He's got a bye, and then he's got a Willem Drew, and then he goes on an incredible run. So if I hold him, I'm committing to 3 weeks of just okay
if you
scoring.
can get his break even, which is 80 each week.
I reckon he can probably get his break
even. If you can get that 85, 90, hold that score, and then gets to that 3 week mark where he versus West Coast, Richmond,
and
Melbourne and St Kilda, I think all in a 4 week stretch.
Yeah.
And his break even's a 90. Done. I think he's locking in 110, 120s for 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Hopefully Newcomb's resurgence in the last game is going to make the tag go onto him instead of Day.
Bedford going to Day. Yeah.
I also held Bailey Smith, so I'm hoping he comes back this week and goes straight on. Some people traded.
Did they?
They went to a ranking, so he got subbed off. The second trade that I'm looking at is right now I'm waiting for teams because I do have Hugo Garcia. So he sits at 430K. If he's named as a sub again, he's got to go. It's too much cash. But if he's not named as a sub, I need to look at where I'm going to go from a Lucas Camporeale or a Max Hall will be the other guy that
I think
trade.
one of Hall or Garcia will be. I think that's what you'll end up doing. One of those two. Anyway, though, Croxy, what about if you look at 2 trades to look at or made 2 trades early? I know it's Wednesday. But
I've gone Darcy Cameron out. Obviously, he's on the bye, and Tristan Jerry in. I was always going to probably do this trade
a bit earlier than you wanted to, or is that
no?
right?
Well, I mean, it was on the buy.
You managed
so
to get that trade with the money wise, so it works out.
Yeah, I think it works out flat for you, didn't it?
It worked out flat. And then my second trade is because teams for the Port game is being released in Finlayson's emergency, so he's going to be sub at best.
That looks so good. That looked like you'd done the choice of the fucking podcast between us all there in that first round.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. And then lo and behold, he's fucking not named last game and looks like he's sub or not named again. So it's not going to work out. And I'm just going to go down to Xavier Lindsay and move some mids into the forward line and bank the cash for next week and then make a change from Perryman.
Nice. Perriman's on the buy, so I suppose you can take
not going to lose cash.
Ryan, what about you?
Well, this is the week that I'll probably beat Nick and get on top of his score. So,
Shit.
All right.
I've taken out Darcy Cameron. He's made me 20K. Is what it is.
Up to Jerry, like Croxy?
No, TDK.
True, I forgot you didn't have TDK.
Yeah, so I've gone TDK this week. Banked, it's $50,000 more in the bank from doing that trade. And then my other one is JHF out the door.
The Hornet. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to Nevitt.
Banking the cash as well.
What's that? Banking you 400K nearly? 300K?
300.
330K.
30, yeah.
330K.
Yeah.
So I've currently got about 600 in the bank ready for next week.
So surely next week will be a big double trade.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting in Jerry. So I've got it lined up.
Okay. And that leaves me. So I've also gone Horn Francis out the door. Me and Ryan both did give him the extra week and just not happy enough with his performance. Just doesn't look like he even wants the ball at times, unfortunately. So I have traded out Horn Francis looking at Ben Keys to come in.
Jesus, okay.
Just because his break-even was quite low. And he can score quite well.
Did my 5 out of the last 9 games of this last season sway you going over 100?
No, because I did this Sunday night, so
definitely
not.
All right.
But anyway, look, there's a few other players to look at for the forward line. Like I said, I've basically made my trades on paper 3 weeks ahead. But Keys is definitely an option there. The other one, this one I am tossing up between. I've managed to, with cash-wise, trade out Sam Wicks, who's a forward line player, and bring in Nathan O'Driscoll, who's just a mid.
Very nice.
I don't want to, but Wicks hasn't looked quite right for, again, how I mentioned with that new role he's got, not looking like his O-round role. Could make a few different options, could do like a Ward, or I could bring in someone else like a forward line player, but just stacking that midfielder up, which I didn't really do last year, I think is the way to go for me. So those are the trades so far. Again, that is my trade. We will let you guys know. We'll post them, like an hour before the game on Thursday
try
night?
and get them up Thursday.
Yeah, so we'll see if anything changes, which normally it does for at least one of us in the next 24 hours.
Both backflipped on everything you were going to do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's no integrity in these guys. I stuck to what I said.
Yeah, and look at
Can't
your
trust
score.
them as far as we can throw them.
Look at your score. Well, it's not doing too well.
Oh, so you're going to profiteer off the suffering of our fans?
Off you.
Listeners?
No, just you.
No,
Just you.
So you're misleading.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, though...
So I'm here to support you by telling you everything not to do.
Anyway, though, let's go over most... There's only, obviously, we'll do a quick top 5 of the most traded in players. We did that last week. We might just add this to our little segment there. So week 2, though, we've got Ted Closely so far is the most traded in player this week.
Makes sense. He's got the lowest break even.
Yeah, so 318K is priced at. His break even's a 90.
A mighty
minus 14 and projected at a 42, so there's some cash there. Xavier Lindsay, again, for the second week in a row, is the second most traded in. You don't want to leave it too late, but everyone's still jumping on that bandwagon. 438k valued at, and his break-even still minus 13. Projected at a 71. Fuck, as a rookie, that's more than enough. You want that. Mitch Nevitt, number 3, 544k at the moment. Break even at 8, definitely going to beat that, and he's projected at a 64. Joel Frazier, who again we mentioned, 691k, so one of those higher players so far that we've got up there. Break even's at 48, bit higher than obviously the other 3 guys, but projected as a 64. But if he's going to do those 75, 80 to 90 points, that's still going to be enough to net you some money.
Make another 30k easy.
Yep, and then O'Sullivan for the Cats. Price is 365k. His break even's a 0, so as soon as he steps on that nice field of grass, he'll get that points. Projected at a 50. Also, just last week, real quick, the top 5 players, SDK, Lindsay, Ashcroft, Frazier, and TDK, all made money last week. 48, 75, 62, 31, and 34k in that order. So most traded in players, people are on the mark so far and looking pretty good.
One thing I will just add on, because I think this is actually a pretty key time to throw it in before we talk Ryan, I think.
Cash cows, before we do cash cows, yeah.
Listened to a podcast the other day, and it was a guy that is DT11, really good around cash gen, usually builds a team that's worth more than anybody else by sometimes $1 million. And one of the things I was talking about on the podcast, we always talk about this 5 price cycle movement. So you score 100 in round 1. For 5 weeks, that's baked into your score. What it actually means is that only really up until week 3 do you see any benefit of it. So you get about 40% of that growth in week 1. Mm-hmm. You get about 20% in week 2. And then by week 3, it kind of caps off. That's really changed my thinking when I look at this, because I look at some of the prices there, right? So you just said, let's use a TDK, for example.
Yeah.
He is 934K. Well, actually,
that was week 1.
Let's use Freya. So Freya
for week
scored
1 or week
75.
2? Yeah,
right?
this week 1, yep.
So he's going to have a 75 built into his score.
Yep.
But that's only really relevant for 3 weeks. So if he has a 75 and then a 60 and then a 60, at that point, you've already lost the value.
Yep.
So when you're starting to think about trading into these guys, a Ted Closey who scored a 91.
Yep. Yeah, 91.
You've already missed that score. So you're not going to get those points. But that cash gen is only going to last about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So just start to think ahead. I really like what you said. I plan my 3 weeks of trades. Start looking at your projections and going, okay, what do I need them to score for them to continue to grow?
Yeah.
Or are they going to regress? And then you can get off early or get out at the right time.
Yep. I like that. All right, Ryan, cash cows.
You mentioned a lot of them, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Closey's a top one.
Yep.
He went up 70k the previous week, so I think he's going to obviously make a bit more cash this week. Lindsay, Henderson, Davidson.
Oh, Sam Davidson, yep.
Yep. Dewar, which we spoke about before.
Tyrell Dewar, yep.
Yep. Levi Ashcroft, Zach Reed, Sullivan from the Cats. Camporelli, again, he didn't score too well last week, but his break-even is 6, so not bad. Your mate, old Mr. Daniel Curtin's got a break-even of 6, so if he does something quite well, again, he went up a lot of money last week.
Well, again, I mean, there was a few times where he scored a 6 last year, so...
There's a few times. So what you're saying is he's got a good chance of breaking the break-even.
Yeah. Caleb Daniels is one who's made a lot of money this season so far, so again, if he's averaging on hundreds, his break-even's at 7. Nevitt got a break-even of 8. O'Driscoll, like a lot of us have got, he's also doing fantastic with a break-even of 4.
Yep.
14.
14, sorry, yep.
Well, I mentioned this real quick. I forgot to mention this earlier, though, because I've kept a little tab. So when we mentioned... Oh, actually, you guys keep going before I choke.
Another one, Jack McRae. If you've got him or you had him, keep him. He's going to make some really good cash this week. Break even at 20. Bailey Smith, again, if he plays this week, he's going to make a lot of cash. Break even at 21. A lot of you probably have him on your bench right now.
All right, that's it? All right, so what I was going to say was I'm keeping like a list of players that are scoring negative money and players that are making the most money on my team. So this week for my score, when I mentioned I'd made 727,000, I had 3 players lose me money, but I also have the 3 players that made the most money, and you've mentioned all 3 of them in that little cash cow segment. With McRae made 85k, Lindsay made 75k, and Caleb Daniel made 73k. Where McRae and Daniel are both mid to high price ranges right now, and they're still making quarter of a century on cash is fantastic. But anyway, though, we'll just wanted to throw that in there.
Who's losing your money? Just curious.
The 3 players that did, JHF lost me 34, Jerry lost me 21, and Cheezel lost me 16.
Yep.
Fuck over all of them.
Yeah,
Same.
Except JHF.
Yeah.
I don't have Sherry, but yeah, I've got the other 2.
All right, so injuries real quick, though. There's not that many fantasy relevant ones. You got Sartis is out for 2 weeks with a broken finger. Archie Perkins 2 weeks with a quad. Then you got Jordan Ridley is back this week. Tom Stewart and Bailey Smith are a test. Sam Flanders and Kieran Briggs and Brent Daniels are all back this week. And Caleb Windsor is out for 2 weeks.
So I think there's plenty of opportunity that opens up with that, right? Like Perkins, Hobbs becomes an option for those that have Perkins and Sardis. Ridley coming back is great, but what does that mean for like a Jackson Pryor? We've got some debutants that'll probably come into the squads, but look at those players that are going to benefit from the opportunity. So we spoke about Connor O'Sullivan. That's a Stewart. What's the direct benefit? He's going to get some of those marks, some of those minutes if he does not play.
And just like you were mentioning cash cows, I will mention a few players that could get their debut this week that we haven't really touched on. Well, actually, one of them definitely is El Hawali. Has already got
El Hawley,
confirmation.
yeah. Saad El Hawley
Has already got
for the Bombers.
confirmation. Also for the Power, Cochrane is getting his debut there. Travaglia looking possibly at a debut. Bo Allen, Tom Gross for the Eagles, and Josh Smilly for the Tigers.
Smilly. Oh my god, he might be my bring in then. He might be the player I need to look at.
Perfect.
There we go.
Someone for me to avoid then.
There we go.
You can't breathe.
No, it's just, I haven't spoken this much all week because I've been
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You all right?
Do you want more water?
Fuck me.
Oh mate, no good.
24. What was it? 40.
24:40.
That's time when your first thing happened. This is like 30. 30. Just so you can keep track of when edits are. Oh. Water, mate? I'll get new ones already. All right.
You all right?
Yeah, I think so. That's like a mini one of basically what I've been having all week.
Fuck me.
Jesus, mate. No good.
Yeah.
You look better now, though. You're really red. Like,
Yeah,
getting
I felt
really
it. Yeah,
red.
like halfway through that talk when I was like,
Yeah.
talk.
Also, it doesn't help that we're sitting down and leaning forward and stuff.
No, that's better. It's worse when I'm lying down.
Really?
Yeah, it builds up the throat.
What, did you have like a cold or something?
No, I wasn't even sick, man. I'm just like every time I cough, I throw up like exactly like that. I get a bad cough and it just fucking makes it worse.
Just MRO and then tipping, yeah.
Tell you what, the matchup between us looks pretty similar. Me and Nick.
Maybe don't go boasting that you're going to beat him and lose. Yeah. You should do this every
I
week.
think I will. I think I'll beat him. I'm pretty confident.
You said
That's
that
what
last
he
I'm pretty
said on
confident.
Sunday last week.
How much did I lose by?
I don't know.
2.
All right. Are we
No,
ready?
that was against Josh the first week.
All right, ready?
I beat you significantly. All right.
All right, and
MROs.
to wrap up, we got the MRO. Now, basically, usually there's concussion, maybe some more concussion, a bad tackle, a strike, or something like that.
There was a strike.
There was a strike.
Yeah.
Cox
Rory Lobb punched
Yeah, boom.
Mason Cox.
got off.
Deflated
It's
like
just
a
fine.
ball.
Well, he did.
You see his
And blood.
face? There's like
Yeah,
nothing
blood.
in his face. They said it was like a deflated Sharon ball. Cox's face.
Jeez.
Oh,
Got
boy.
nothing in there.
But basically, the MRO,
He's going for the spoil.
nothing.
Clearly.
So we just saw a bunch of fines for tripping, bad conduct, some strikes. But yeah, no suspension. So we're looking really good there. And that leads us into our final segment, and that is tipping. So, Hawker, you did well last week, I think.
How many did you get out of 8?
He picked North, which was good.
How many did you get out of 8?
I can't even remember. I'd have to. It's on my phone.
I'm going to open up the tipping.
Well, let's just start off with the Essendon Port game tomorrow night. Who are we thinking?
I think we can all unfortunately say Port
I'm
Adelaide
going to say Port by 28 points.
by 28. Okay, not really what we need to.
Yeah, Port, I think by... Yeah, Port. Yeah, Port.
Yeah.
Port. Everyone in Port?
Yeah, I think everyone.
Yeah, we can move on.
For Carlton versus the Bulldogs, I'm going Carlton.
I'm going Bulldogs.
This one's hard
It's a tough
because
game.
3 in a row for Carlton.
Yeah.
They are going to be...
They look garbage.
I know they do. But do you think they're going to come and play a game at home and not really put a show on?
I hope so, because that'd be
Like-
hilarious.
I don't know. Look, the
It's
Bulldogs.
hard.
They're going to be hard pressed to stop Sam Darcy, but I just think that Kerno will be back. He'll be better. I think they'll look better. I think
So you're going Carlton.
I'm
Anyone
going
else
Carlton.
going Carlton?
No, I'm going Bulldogs.
Croxy?
I already said Bulldogs,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm going
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs. As well.
Melbourne versus the Sun. Oh, this is an easy one. They're not playing
Suns.
at home, so it'll have to be Melbourne.
I've gone
I'm going
Suns.
Suns.
No kidding, Suns it is.
Yeah, I think we're all going Suns on that one as well. Now, here we go. Ryan, what are you going to go?
St Kilda Richmond.
Yeah, it's got to be St Kilda, doesn't it?
$4.20. That's pretty good odds.
Oh,
Fuck,
that
at the
game
start of
they
this
were,
year,
they
we
were
would've been
paying
thinking that was
10 to 1
$10.
the first game.
Yeah.
And they won.
Put the home loan on it.
Put the home loan. You can't
Not
put-
financial
You
advice.
can't put negative money on a bet.
I mean, instead of buying the new home.
Yeah, I'm going to go St Kilda.
St Kilda, there we go. All right, from a Richmond fan. All right, Hawthorn and
Is
Giants.
everyone else going St Kilda?
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
going St Kilda.
Hawthorn and Giants.
Hawks Giants. I'm going to go Hawthorn.
Yeah, Hawk Ball.
Hawk Bowl versus the Tsunami. This will be really interesting.
I think it'll
to
be a
see.
closer game than we
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, Briggs back. See how he fares after that nasty concussion, eh?
Toby Green looking good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lions versus Geelong.
I'm
What
going
are
the
we
Cats.
thinking? You're going
Lions.
the Cats.
Yeah.
I'm going.
It's up here.
Lions.
Lions.
It's at the Gabatoir, 6:35 p.m. It'll be slick. I'm going to
It'll
go.
be very wet.
I'm going to go to the Lions.
Yeah.
Adelaide versus North Melbourne.
Adelaide. for
Adelaide
sure.
are
They're on fire.
flying.
It's a new logo.
What did Alana say the Crows were?
Oh, the ferrets, the German ferrets. Because,
The red and the yellow.
well, yeah, it looks like the German flag, right? And then, like, it was just
Sorry,
the
it looks
cutout of
like
the
what?
face. It was just the cutout of the face on the scoring.
Yeah.
When you're watching
like
the
the
game.
little logo.
It's just like the little
Yeah,
face.
The smallest issue. Thought it was a ferret.
Yeah. Anyways.
And then Freo versus Eagles. Where are we sitting with this? I think Freo, I want to say Freo, but like West Coast actually played really well in the derbies. Derbies.
I'm going Freo.
Yeah, I'm going to go Freo. So let's all lock it in.
Yeah, Freo.
We're feeling good?
Yeah, Freo.
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
All right. And that's pretty much us.
That's going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I want to leave you with one question, though. And I saw this actually posed, I don't know where it was. I think it was maybe on the Traders. If you had to start your team tomorrow, real life AFL team, if you had to start it tomorrow, and you got the pick between Sam Darcy and Nick Daicos, who are you picking? And who are you going to base your team around?
Nick Daicos.
Yeah, Nick Daicos.
I'm Sam Darcy.
You've hit your head.
Okay.
If you look up in the dictionary, flog, it's got a picture of Josh.
Well, okay. Riddle me this then. How
Yeah.
many great midfielders are there?
There's a fair few.
Yeah. How many amazing key forwards are there that are 207 centimetres, can move like Sam Darcy?
Well, you've just listed all things that Sam Darcy is, so there's only one.
No, but think equivalent. So like maybe Riley Tilthorpe, probably not as good. But who else?
Oh,
So can I get one?
On the spot,
Can
yeah.
I get a bunch of midfielders that are probably maybe half as good as or almost as good as Nick Daicos? No, but I'll be able to get some that are pretty close. I can't think of a whole bunch of full forwards that are going to kick 4 goals and outmark everyone.
It's an
but
interesting,
do you base
interesting
someone?
question.
Do you base someone, a team, on someone that's in the forward line? I don't think so.
We're not talking about fantasy. That's
Yeah,
what Josh is
this
saying.
is not fantasy.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
1000%. The game is about kicking goals and scoring more than your opposition.
Yeah, correct.
So
But
you can have as
how
much
are you
midfield
creating?
time
How
as you
you
want.
how are you creating goals though?
If he's that tall and that good in front of on mark, he can literally you can bomb it in there and he is going to mark it. Oh, it's just a question I saw and I was like, that's actually really tough to pick. But thinking about it, there's not that many elite full forwards out there, but there's a dime a dozen midfielders.
Yep.
Something to consider. Let us know what you'd think.
All right, well, that's going to be it for the round 3 preview. Thank you all for listening and watching. And we'll be back next week with the round 3 review, round 4 preview. Especially the preview is definitely more entertaining, I believe. But see you in the next one.
Thank you for watching.
Catch up.
Peace.